Good morning. You're watching News for Hearing Impaired. I'm Abhishek. With me is Manisha. First, the headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi participates in non-aligned summit on tackling COVID-19 meeting via video conferencing, calls on NAM countries to remain inclusive in their efforts against the epidemic, hails India's democratic model, says democracy, discipline, decisiveness have come together to create a genuine people's movement. PM Modi says even as the world fights COVID-19 virus, some people are busy spreading other deadly viruses such as terrorism, fake news and doctored videos to divide communities and countries. Three CRPF jawans martyred in Handwara, Jammu and Kashmir. Incident in Ghaziabad. CDS Bipin Rawat tells Doordarshan News that Pakistan will be given a befitting reply. Government to bring Indians stranded abroad back home in a phased manner from May 7th. Return to be on board airplanes and naval ships currently abroad. Indian embassies and high commissions to prepare list. Railways are not charging any fare for Shramik trains from workers who are seeking to return to their homes during the lockdown. 85% of charges being borne by railways. State governments expected to pay remaining 15%. No open sale of tickets as state governments to decide who can travel. Active cases of COVID-19 in India stands at 29,685, while 11,761 have been recovered and discharged and 1,389 casualties recorded so far. Government engages civil society, NGOs, industry and international organizations in the fight against COVID-19. And coronavirus cases increase rapidly worldwide. So far, over 35 lakh people have been infected with corona. More than 2,51,000 people have died. More than 11,78,000 people infected with COVID-19 in America, with more than 69,000 fatalities in US alone. Our top story: as the world is fighting against the COVID-19 pandemic, various organizations are joining hands to carve out solutions to come out of the global health crisis. Prime Minister Narendra Modi participated in non-aligned summit on tackling COVID-19 meeting via video conferencing. PM called on NAM countries to remain inclusive in their efforts against the epidemic and hailed India as a leader as humanity faces its most severe crisis in many decades.
NAM should call upon the international community and the World Health Organization focus on building health capacity in developing countries. We should ensure equitable, affordable and timely access to health products and technology for all. We should develop a platform for all named countries to pool our experience, best practices, crisis management protocols, research and resources. Excellencies, in the founding spirit of movement, let us aim today to come together, not grow apart. Each of us can be saved from the pandemic only if we all are. Let us work as partners towards an inclusive and cooperative global response.
PM Modi said even as the world fights COVID virus, some people are busy spreading other deadly viruses such as terrorism, fake news and doctored videos to divide communities and countries.
Some people are busy spreading other deadly viruses such as terrorism, such as fake news and doctored videos to divide communities and countries. But today, I want to focus only on the positives.
India talks about its democratic model on COVID containment at a NAM meeting. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said India has shown how democracy and discipline can come together to create genuine people's movement.
In this crisis, we have shown how democracy, discipline and decisiveness can come together to create a genuine people's movement.
Moving on, here's a quick look at the top 10 takeaways of PM Modi's address. So, PM slams Pakistan without naming it at the NAM meet. He said even as we fight COVID virus, some people are busy spreading other deadly viruses such as terrorism, fake news and doctored videos to divide communities and countries. India has promoted coordination in immediate neighborhood on COVID, and NAM can help promote global solidarity and it has been world's moral voice. So, NAM should call on international community and WHO to build health capacity in developing countries, and let us aim to come together, not grow apart. He also said we have sent medical supplies to over 123 countries including 59 NAM members. So, Indian PM began with paying condolences to all those who lost their loved ones due to COVID-19, says humanity faces its most serious crisis in decades. He also said we need a new template of globalization based on fairness, equality and humanity, and we need to promote human welfare and not focus on economic growth alone. So, many countries organize military drills, but India has taken the initiative to organize disaster management drills. Moving on, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has also highlighted India's efforts in combating COVID-19.
India's civilization sees the whole world is as one family. As we care for our own citizens, we are also extending help to other countries. To counter COVID-19, we have promoted coordination in our immediate neighborhood, and we are organizing online training to share India's medical expertise with many others. India is regarded as a pharmacy of the world, especially for affordable medicines. Despite our own needs, we have ensured medical supplies to over 123 partner countries, including 59 members of NAM.
So, active cases of COVID-19 in the country have reached 29,685. 11,761 people have cured and discharged, while 1,389 people have died due to the virus so far. Maharashtra continues to be the hardest hit state with total cases nearing 13,000, while Gujarat have reported 5,428 and Delhi 4,549 cases so far. With more than 500 cases reported yesterday, total number of cases in Tamil Nadu have crossed 3,000. And briefing media yesterday, Health Ministry informed that 1,074 patients cured from the disease yesterday. Ministry also informed that the recovery rate stands currently at 27.52%. As we have entered the third phase of the lockdown, government is now working towards facilitating the return of Indian nationals stranded abroad. The operation will be conducted on compelling grounds in a phased manner. The operation will begin from May 7th. So, the travel would be arranged by aircraft and naval ships. A standard operating procedure has already been prepared. Indian embassies and high commissions are preparing a list of distressed Indian citizens. This facility would be made available on payment basis. Non-scheduled commercial flights would be arranged for air travel, and the passengers will be screened before they board the flight. And only asymptomatic passengers will be allowed to travel, and upon reaching, everyone will have to register on the Arogya Setu app. They will be screened once again, and after the screening, the passengers will be quarantined for 14 days. They will be kept either in a hospital or in an institutional quarantine. Another round of tests would be done after 14 days, depending upon what further action would be taken according to health protocols. The Ministries of External Affairs and Civil Aviation would share detailed information about it through its websites. So, state governments have been being advised to make arrangements including testing, quarantine and further movements of the returning Indians in their respective states. So, West Bengal has the highest COVID-19 mortality rate in the country at 12.8%. Inter-Ministerial Central Team leader Apurva Chandra wrote in his final observations to State Chief Secretary Rajiva Sinha before leaving for Delhi on Monday. Apurva Chandra said in the letter that this extremely high mortality rate is a clear indication of low testing, weak surveillance and tracking. He further added that a discrepancy has been brought to the fore in the number of COVID-19 cases reported by the state in its medical bulletins and its communication with the union government. The team led by Chandra returned to the national capital after having completed 2 weeks of stay in Kolkata. Moving on, railways are running special Shramik trains on the request from concerned state governments for sending and receiving stranded persons, but politics has started on return of stranded labourers. Reports of stranded labourers being charged for their fare of return journey home from different states has led to political slugfest, with Congress offering to pay for the tickets of migrant workers. The centre has, however, clarified that railways are not charging any fare from workers who are seeking to return to their homes during the lockdown. 85% of charges being borne by railways. State governments are expected to pay remaining 15%.
हमारी गाइडलाइंस ने क्लियरली कहा है कि इन्फेक्शियस डिजीज मैनेजमेंट के भाग के रूप में जो मनुष्य जहां है वहीं रहे। स्टेट की रिक्वेस्ट के तहत उन लोगों को स्पेशल ट्रेन चलाने की हमने परमिशन दी। गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया हो या रेलवेज हो, किसी भी कोशिश में हमने कभी भी कोई भी वर्कर से चार्ज करने की बात नहीं की है। हमने 85% जो पूरी ट्रांसपोर्टेशन का कॉस्ट बियर किया जाता है, वह 85% जो है वो रेलवेज बियर करती हैं, 15% स्टेट को बियर करना है और उसी प्रोसेस और बेस्ड ऑन स्टेट्स रिक्वेस्ट जो ये प्रोसेस शुरू हुआ है कि जो कुछ लिमिटेड पैसेंजर, जो स्टैंडर्ड पैसेंजर्स हैं, माइग्रेंट लेबरर्स हैं, जिनको लिमिटेड लोगों को लेके जाना है फॉर सम वेरी पर्टिकुलर रीजन, उसको स्टेट गवर्नमेंट उसी तहत में कोऑर्डिनेट भी कर रही है, एक्सेप्ट फॉर 1 or 2 states.
So, the BJP has attacked the Congress on this issue and alleged that Congress was playing politics over such a sensitive issue. Several states like Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Bihar and Madhya Pradesh have talked of bearing the entire cost, while there are some states who have not yet taken any decision in this regard. While Kerala government has said that those who can afford it should be charged for the travel, Bihar and Madhya Pradesh chief ministers stated that the state governments will bear the expenses of the workers returning home. Moving on, Delhi government have decided to increase the price of all types of liquor by 70%. The government will collect the increased price as special corona fee. The increased prices will be applicable from today itself. Earlier, Delhi Excise Commissioner wrote a letter to Delhi Police Commissioner asking to open liquor stores while strictly adhering to social distancing norms. 3 CRPF personnel were martyred and 2 others injured when terrorists opened fire on them at a checkpoint in Kupwara a day after 5 security personnel lost their lives during an encounter in that district. A teenaged civilian reportedly of unsound mental condition was also killed in the exchange of fire between the security forces and the ultras. The terrorists opened fire on a Naka party of the Central Reserve Police Force at Wangam, Ghaziabad in Kralgun area of the district. A brief shootout ensued as the CRPF personnel opened retaliatory firing. A 15-year-old civilian boy identified as Muhammad Hazim Bhatt was also found dead at the scene of the incident, adding he was reportedly mentally challenged. The area has been cordoned off and search operation is launched in the area to nab the terrorist. Police has registered a case and officers are investigating the circumstances of the terror crime. This was second major damage inflicted by terrorists on security forces in Kupwara district within 48 hours. So 5 army personnel including 2 officers and a Jammu and Kashmir policeman were martyred during an encounter with militants on Saturday in Handwara area. DD News spoke exclusively to the Chief of Defence Staff, General Bipin Rawat. In an exclusive interview to DD News, Chief of Defence Staff, General Bipin Rawat said that India was and is prepared to fight any challenges. Speaking on the Handwara attack, he added that they were sure that infiltration activities will take place as soon as the snow starts melting, but India is ready and is conducting investigation to foil any such attempts. He also thanked the people of Kashmir for their support and faith in the army.
हमें तो कभी भी ये उम्मीद नहीं थी कि कोरोना के दौरान पाकिस्तान इन्फिल्ट्रेशन को रोक देगा या कश्मीर में माहौल बिगाड़ने की कोशिश नहीं करेगा, तो इसके लिए हमारी सेना पूर्ण रूप से तैयार थी। हमें पूरा यकीन था कि इन्फिल्ट्रेशन की कार्रवाई जैसे ही बर्फ़ पिघलना शुरू होगी, इन्फिल्ट्रेशन होगी, इसके लिए हम तैयार थे और उसी के तहत लगातार कार्रवाई चलती जा रही है। जनवरी से और अप्रैल के महीने में किस तरह की सफलता मिली है सिक्योरिटी फोर्सेस को जम्मू कश्मीर में, और हमें अगर इस वक्त सफलता मिल रही है तो वो मिल रही है क्योंकि जम्मू कश्मीर की जो आवाम है वो हमारे साथ है, वो हमारा सहयोग कर रही है।
World is continuing to struggle to control the spread of coronavirus. The global death toll due to the virus crossed 2.5 lakhs mark with a total of 35,78,301 cases reported globally. In USA, senators returned to Washington for the first time in nearly 6 weeks amid concerns that their legislative sessions could put lawmakers and staff at risk of contracting the new coronavirus. With the resumption of the Senate, party leaders raised partisan differences over the next step in how to combat the pandemic. Democrats and Republicans are at odds over the contents of any new coronavirus legislation, while Democrats want up to $1 trillion to help state and local governments. The Republicans, on the other hand, are demanding liability protections for businesses as a condition for moving forward on any bill. With Washington still under a stay-at-home order, lawmakers were advised by the congressional physician to wear masks, stay 6 feet apart and limit the number of staff on Capitol Hill. Meanwhile, in New York, the city Metropolitan Transportation Authority workers disinfected trains during the coronavirus pandemic as the city struggles to keep the virus at bay. New York City's subway is taking the unprecedented step of halting overnight service in order to clean train cars, a likely prelude to bigger changes as the largest U.S. mass transit system works to rebound from a pandemic that has slashed ridership. The city has been the nation's epicenter in the pandemic. The US coronavirus tally now stands at 11,78,906 coronavirus cases and 68,689 deaths, with New York alone registering 19,057 deaths. As the country moves towards easing of lockdown, Florida began a gradual reopening of its economy. In the first phase, retail merchants and restaurants will open with indoor patronage limited to 25% of capacity. Eateries were also allowed to open outdoor seating with social distancing. Restaurants in all Florida counties were allowed to open, while schools, movie theaters, bars and fitness clubs remained shut. In addition, hospitals resumed elective surgeries. The surgeries were brought to a halt in many hospitals across the United States as resources were redirected towards patients suffering from the coronavirus. In Spain, lockdown restrictions started easing out in a phased manner. Businesses with premises under 400 square meters like hairdressers and flower shops reopened on Monday in the country. Spain began a 4-phase plan on Monday to reopen the country by the end of June. However, some stores must remain closed until coronavirus emergency gets better. Under the new regulations, hairdressers and barbers must operate by appointment only, and more than one client in a shop per employee are not allowed. Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez said on Saturday that 6 million masks were due to be distributed in Spain and soon will be available to public. Government has now made mandatory to wear masks in public transports. Meanwhile, Spain registered new 164 deaths in the past 24 hours, taking the toll to 25,428 and positive cases 2,18,011. As Italy prepares to ease its lockdown, Italians from Venice to Naples have started adapting to life post-lockdown. Italy saw gradual easing of strict restrictions that have been placed to try and stop spread of the coronavirus. Social distancing was the new norm and streets were much busier than any time in lockdown as Italy started to unwind its tight restrictions, letting some 4.5 million people return to work after nearly 2 months at home. As policemen remained on guard, passengers and commuters respected the safety rules. Italy also saw reopening of factories and train stations, and factories have been given the green light to restart their dormant production lines. Italy has so far reported 2,11,938 coronavirus cases and 29,079 deaths. France now. French Finance Minister Bruno Le Maire on Monday said that France is expecting to face risks of companies going bankrupt and job cuts as the country readies to ease its coronavirus lockdown measures next week. Speaking at an online event, Le Maire said an uncertain resuming of operations could hamper companies' return to normal as France is slated to put in place its confinement plan starting May 11th. Le Maire singled out restaurants, the tourism and cultural industry and other businesses that will remain closed after May 11th, saying that they should be the priority beneficiaries of the nation's generous partial unemployment scheme. The France coronavirus tally now stands at 1,69,583 cases and 25,204 deaths. Bangladesh now, with 688 new corona positive cases reported over the last 24 hours since Sunday. The number of COVID-19 infections in Bangladesh has gone up to 10,143. According to the Directorate General of Health Services, Bangladesh, this is the largest single-day increase in corona infections in Bangladesh since the first case was detected on March 8th in the country. 5 more people died in the last 24 hours since Sunday, taking the death toll in the country due to corona to 182. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina on Monday announced that the government will provide cash assistance before Eid to people who have lost their jobs. Announcing relief measures, Sheikh Hasina said that government will issue 50 lakh additional ration cards for the poor people so that they can purchase rice at Taka 10 per kg. Government has already provided 50 lakh ration cards for the poorer people earlier, and pointing to the possibility of famine in the world due to the corona pandemic, Prime Minister Hasina instructed the Agricultural Minister to ensure that all the land is cultivated to meet the demand of food in Bangladesh and other countries. However, she assured people that the country has adequate stock of food grain for its requirement. Continuing with the ongoing general holiday, the government of Bangladesh on Monday extended it further till May 16th. Well, that's all we have on this news bulletin. Stay tuned for more news and updates. Namaskar.